You're now watching B2B Vault, the Biz-to-Biz podcast, hosted by Alan Kopelman, powered by Nationwide Payment Systems, the #1 solution for payment processing.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of B2B Vault, the Biz-to-Biz podcast, sponsored by Nationwide Payment Systems and our new NPS One smart invoicing platform. And today we're going to talk about franchising, and we're talking to Adam Povlitz. Povlitz? How did I mispronounce your name?
Close enough.
Close enough. Okay. And he's from Anago Cleaning Services. He made a joke. He goes, think about your girlfriend named Anna and you want her to go. So I pronounced it all wrong in the beginning. So Anago Cleaning Services. And we're going to jump in. And what's cool is I'm in Fort Lauderdale and Adam's actually right down the street in Pompano. So we're practically neighbors, which is nice.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself to the audience, Adam.
Hey, Alan. Yeah. Hey, neighbor. Thanks, Alan. So, it's Anago Cleaning Systems, and I am now the CEO and president since 2015. The Anago is, what's weird about Anago is most people think franchising, they think McDonald's or something like that. And we are a franchise, but most franchises are 2 tiers, and Anago is a 3-tier franchise. So I own and manage the corporate office. We sell what's called a master franchise, and that's like a large territory, right? So think large metro areas like South Florida, Atlanta, Dallas, Phoenix. And then within those master franchise territories, they are selling janitorial, or what we call unit franchise. So those are the actual cleaning businesses. So the easiest way for Alan, for your listeners to think about it is sort of flip it upside down. When I say commercial cleaning, most people, the picture in your head is the guy with the mop and the bucket, right? Or the vacuum or something like that. That is your janitorial franchisee and his team. And their job is just keep the buildings clean, learn the chemicals, learn the equipment, manage all of that, manage the internal payroll that he has for his staff, and keep the buildings clean, keep the customers happy. But what our model does is it answers, well, where did he get those customers from? Right? Because now you need a sales and marketing team, you need a website, you need, some sort of sales plan in order to attack your territory. And so that's what our master franchise does, is they essentially are the day job of the cleaning, right? So all the unit franchise does usually operates at night. They're focused on keeping the buildings clean. The master franchise, their sole focus is they have a sales team. They're spending the money on the PPC and the SEO and the website stuff, the social media, and then they're doing back office support for the janitorial franchisee. So they're going to do all the billing and collections of the clients. So it creates a really cool synergy because the unit franchise focuses on cleaning, and has no sales and administrative overhead. And then the master franchise does absolutely zero cleaning and only focuses on sales and administration.
So what's the 3rd tier?
You're looking at him.
Oh, okay.
And then I manage the corporate office. We obviously help to add more territories, support everybody, help get everyone, more national level accounts, national vendor relationships, and continue to invest in the technology and the CRMs and all that sort of stuff that keep the whole thing ticking.
So besides like cleaning an office, like we have somebody that comes and cleans our office. So besides that, like what other type of cleaning is being done? Like a whole office building where they're cleaning just like the hallways and stuff? Like that kind of cleaning? Or
so it's everything. Just not residential. That's actually a totally different business model, interestingly enough. But and just how the revenue and cost structure breaks down. But anything commercial cleaning, so offices, schools, hospitals, daycares, you name it. And then we have we also branch out. We can do any kind of floor work, strip and waxing of tiles, carpet care. And then we've expanded further with our national accounts department, where we can do really anything facility related. So it's called full menu facilities or integrated facility management, which is basically like security, pest control, HVAC, you name it, one-stop shop for an office or any kind of commercial building.
Oh wow, that's very involved right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because then what do? You have outside vendors that you bring in for the HVAC and things like that?
Yeah, that's the idea. So our core focus is going to be the commercial cleaning. So any type of, again, whether it's, hospital or a regular office, that's our core focus. And then when you get out to the ancillary services like HVAC or something like that, we have, vendor relationships around the country that we've partnered with. But the idea, right, as a building manager, you don't want to have to call 10 people when something goes wrong. It's,
Right.
our setup is that you're a single point of contact. Anything, any issue, anytime, we'll ring the bell and we'll respond.
Oh, that's cool. And so generally they're coming in, it's like a nighttime operation going into
Most cleaning's done at
after
night.
hours.
There's a popularity now in daytime cleans coming back, but it's still probably, as a percentage, it's pretty small. Just because, right, if you're trying to get your work done and like right now we're on a Zoom call, how funny would it be if someone was kind of walking in behind me, cleaning, emptying a trash. It just, most people still prefer like, hey, come in once everyone's out of there, because then also the folks doing the cleaning can be a lot more efficient if they're not trying to like work around someone who's on a phone call or something.
Right. Yeah, but I would imagine like someone has, I guess, yeah, that's like the best time. We have somebody, they come at night. We don't care what time they come.
Yeah.
Sometimes they come at 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Yep.
We see when they enter and exit, they have to log into our alarm and everything. And like, so when one of the downline, like, so you have this master franchise and then you have cleaning people underneath them, right? The cleaning franchises,
Right.
right? So how does that work from a level of insurance? You have one master policy controlled by the big like let's say the person's in Atlanta, they own Atlanta, then they have 20 people cleaning. How do each individual one of those has to get insured, or you guys have like a big insurance policy for that?
So it depends a little bit on a per market basis, but for the most part, it's one master level policy that covers everyone. And that way it's very easy if there, God forbid there is an issue, you just coordinate with the customer service rep at the regional office. And, if you have to make a claim or something like that, it's very easy. The janitorial franchisees can get their own coverage, particularly like work comp, right? Because they are independent businesses.
Right.
You want them to have their own coverage. If, God forbid, one of their employees gets hurt on the job or something like that, then they can take care of that within their company.
So you don't have to give specific numbers. We don't hold you down. What kind of, how many master territories are open right now?
So right now we have 48 master territories across the U.S. and Canada, and they are supporting just over 1,800 unit janitorial franchisees. So
And you're looking to add
it's scaled up.
You're looking for more master.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So weirdly enough, I have like we're in Tallahassee, Gainesville. I'm in Manitoba, Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Places that, like Winnipeg, you have to plug your car in like 6 months of the year just so the battery doesn't freeze.
Right.
And yet I have this weird like open pattern in the Midwest for some reason that we just haven't, been able to find the right candidates. So Illinois, Indianapolis, Kansas City, some of those places, so that's where we're looking for new master franchises currently, is I would say just broader, let's just call it the Midwest.
Okay. Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Cedar Rapids is open.
Okay. My daughter lives there. She's a meteorologist on TV. Just
Nice.
throwing it out there. So, and then, so there's still some opportunity out there. So what, like from a cost level, like how does that work? Like compared to like we were talking about, like investing in McDonald's could be $1 million. What kind of investment is somebody making with this?
So at the master franchise level, it is a big investment, but it's not, million plus type numbers. It's, probably I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of like 3 to 400,000, give or take. All in, including franchise fee, including setup, including you're going to need some staff and obviously insurance, like we talked about. At the unit franchise level, it's very little. I mean, we start programs at a few $1,000s down. You're all in like 10 to 20,000 to start a unit level franchise. So it can be very inexpensive. It's great because you have you're essentially selling to two separate markets in our business model, right? So you have, someone who is, former senior level executive,
Right.
VP, CEO, whatever of a business, and they're looking to repurpose those skills. And it's just like, look, cleaning's not rocket science. We can teach you the words, and ultimately you're just learning it in our business, and that's your higher level investment. And then you have people who are just looking like, look, I'm dabbling in entrepreneurship. I don't know how to start a business. I don't know much. I kind of want to keep my day job, frankly, because I don't, I don't want to take too much risk. That's where the unit franchise opportunity comes in. And you go, listen, you're all in for 10, 12 grand. And it's a side hustle. We literally call it the ultimate side hustle, right? Because you're able to keep your day job, and you go, hey, I just want to make an extra 3, 4 grand a month. And I'm not looking to go crazy. I don't know how to do all this. And then that master franchise can set you up as a local janitorial franchise for, very little out of pocket.
So then how does so let's say that's the low side. So somebody who's like a good operator of one of those small units, what's like a good operator doing a month?
So I just gave, on the very high end, I actually just gave an award to a lady up in the Philadelphia area. She was doing she had $1 million a year business as a janitorial franchisee. I mean, you can get very big. What's common is probably, frankly, what's most common is people keep it as a side hustle.
Right.
But those that really want to scale it, now you're talking about several $100,000s a year is pretty typical. So it becomes, a lot less of a side hustle and a lot more of a,
Okay.
hey, you have 5 or 10 employees under you, and you're managing everything as a business owner, and not thinking of it like a janitor.
Right. So the other small thing is, I have this side hustle and I'm going on the weekend or something. I find customers who will let me clean their offices on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, kind of.
Well, no. I mean, because remember, they don't even have to find the customer. That's the beauty of it. Is like, hey, we have this the master franchise in South Florida. Hey, Alan here just bought a unit franchise, and you go, hey, listen, I can only do Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights. Has to be after 5 o'clock because I got my day job. What do you got? And they'll go out and say, okay, oh, and yeah, and by the way, I want to stay in Broward County. Sure, no problem. Let's walk through it. Here's what kind of customer roster we're working with right now. We understand what requirements you have, and we can get you the customers that fit that profile.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty cool if somebody's really, even for a young person, listen up, young
Yeah.
people. Here,
Yeah.
this might not be like the sexiest thing. My son comes to me with business ideas all the time. So the first one was he wants to open up a bar. I was like, forget that. We're not doing it.
Yeah.
Then he comes to me, he wants to open a blind store. We're not doing that. That's where you're delivering stuff through like DoorDash out of like a
Yeah.
warehouse. It's inventory. With this, you're providing a service. You don't need some expensive office space. You don't need a storefront. You could do it out of your garage, essentially, to
Yeah.
start, or your car or an SUV or whatever you have. And you're not making a giant investment. And then it's a service business. I love service businesses.
That,
You're
and that's
performing a
and
service.
yeah, and at the end of the day, you look at it and you go, with everything the way it's going right now with technology, right? You go, how many jobs are going to be outsourced to China? How many jobs are going to be, Amazon comes to town and puts a small inventory-based business out of business? How many AI things over the next handful of years are going to come in and replace some of these more, more, I don't know, accounting type industries and stuff like that? This is not going anywhere. Someone physically needs to walk in to the office and physically clean it. And like you said, it's a service-based business. So it's going to be around, service-based businesses are going to outlast all the IT stuff because it still requires the human element of someone physically coming in and taking care of something.
So then, like from a software perspective, right? Because technology, how have you like developed technology that helps all this run?
One of the main things that we've invested in, because when you say technology in cleaning, it sounds like, an oxymoron, right? Like jumbo shrimp or something like, well, that's technology in cleaning. It's not a better mop. It's not a better vacuum, right? That's not how the technology works. Anything I can get in terms of equipment, my competitor, at least on the high end, my competitors can get what I can get. What we decided to invest in is customer service technology. And so let me kind of frame this for you, right? So if you go out to a restaurant, since you mentioned you were a chef before, you can have one of three experiences at a restaurant. You can go in and, Alan is your chef and the food is off the charts phenomenal, flown in from Hawaii, delicious. And your waiter's just awesome. And the whole experience is great. You come into another restaurant and you have the waiter's a jerk, the food is cold, the fish is not remotely fresh, and you go, oh, what a terrible experience. Or you go to just someone, some restaurant, and it's just like, right? It's like unmemorable. It's just like, I went there. In cleaning, you don't have three experiences. You have two experiences, right? So there is no joy, delight experience. Nobody gets to their office and is like, oh my gosh, my office is so spotless. I'm going to get my janitor a birthday present. It just doesn't happen, right? So either you get to your office and you go, well, I got to work, and you sit down at your computer and you start hammering on your keyboard or whatever it is that you do. Or you get to your office and you go, why is my trash can still full? Like, what's that smell coming from the bathroom? What's going on here? So we realized that if you can only really have a kind of unmemorable experience or a negative experience, we have to capitalize on those moments of bad experience to turn it around and sort of make a friend for life is how I word it. And so we created a platform called CleanCom. We're really unoriginal with our naming convention. So like everything in our software is called Clean something, right? But with CleanCom, what happens is you have an issue, and right now, just let me also reframe this. Right now in the industry, if you have an issue, I bet right now if you have an issue with the cleaning in your office, first of all you have to go like, who's the office manager, or if it's a multi-tenant, or you go to your office manager and you go, who's the cleaning company here? And, do you have the phone number? How do I report an issue? Hey, by the way, we're in South Florida. Hey, do you speak Spanish? I don't speak Spanish. Can someone leave a note in Spanish? Or, and if you're in different places of the country, right? It could be, hey, do you speak Mandarin? Hey, do you speak Portuguese? Hey, you know what I mean? It's all over the map. And it turns into this just discombobulated mess of communication. So we acknowledged that was sort of the industry standard. And with CleanCom, all that goes away. You take out your phone, you take a picture of whatever the issue is. It takes a picture, you log whatever area it's in. Oh, it was in the bathroom, it was in the kitchen, whatever it may be. You put a note in there. It sends it to the janitorial franchisee who's associated with your account. There's no exchange of phone numbers or anything like that. It's all private communication. It has built-in Google Translate, so you speak in whatever your language is, they can speak whatever language theirs is, and you can still communicate. It has a built-in mandatory 2-hour response guarantee, so you're not wondering overnight, like, did it get done? You will find out within the next 2 hours of sending that message of what the response is going to be and how they're going to handle it. And then to take it a step further, we built in what we call preventive analytics. So if you are reporting an issue on a particular franchisee about, say, restrooms, and another client that they have also is reporting issues in restrooms, you know what I mean? What it'll do is it'll actually take that aggregation of all the issues that are being reported, and it'll serve it up to the master franchisee in the territory and say, hey, this particular franchisee is struggling with restrooms. Let's bring him in for a retraining and properly recertify him to handle restrooms so that he doesn't have future issues down the line.
Oh, that's cool. And then what do you guys do for billing? Like now, like whatever people I deal with, we have to like sell them every month. So
No, so it's all done through in terms of billing the client. Funny, it's there's obviously there's a big push to ACH and all that nowadays, but I would say most people still pay their janitorial company by a paper check. It's wild. Um,
you should talk
I'm,
about that. I'll help you with that.
yeah. We're pushing, I mean, we're pushing hard we have an integrated payment processor for people who want to do credit card. Obviously, ACH is big, and we're pushing probably that direction the hardest. And then same thing when the master franchise collects that money, it's just then ACH to each of the unit franchisees their portion of the
Okay.
revenue.
Oh, so they collect and then so the people
No, no,
doing the cleaning don't have to deal with collecting money.
exactly. And that way, right? Then it's like, because think about it. So same thing. Let's keep the restaurant analogy going, right? There's a huge difference, and you can attest to this, between being like a phenomenal chef and being a restaurant general manager, right?
Right.
Like you can cook is a totally different, structure than like, okay, I need to deal with marketing and operations and hiring and firing and all that other stuff. That's what our business model essentially does, is it says, hey, the people who are good chefs who can manage a cleaning business, and in our case it's obviously it's not the same qualifications as being an excellent chef. It's not rocket science.
Right.
Let's focus on a simple operational side of the business, whereas someone who has more experience in business management, the business side of the business and administration, let's let that person focus on that, and then they kind of come together and everybody wins.
Are you guys doing anything with AI right now?
Always, man. We're always looking into AI. So what we're doing to take that to the next level is, rather than it alerting the master franchise, and then the master franchise having to kind of bring someone in for retraining, we've actually used AI. They're AI avatars, essentially, where it looks like a person talking to you on screen and can act and everything like that. And so we've created an e-learning platform. So it's all video based. And so what the AI will do is, rather than the master getting alerted and having to call the ball, the AI will track what issues are coming from where, serve up the correct video to the unit franchisee, serve them a test that they have to pass to then be recertified to be able to clean that type of area or industry or whatever it may be again. So it's all going to be automatic behind the scenes.
Oh, so video training versus, oh, come down to the office and we're going
Right,
to
right.
test
Initial
that.
training, you still got to do it in person, right? Because
Right.
cleaning is hands-on, but that sort of, jogging your memory, best practices kind of stuff, that can be all done, online at this point.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, when you look into, starting a business today, and I know you talked about, like you said, your dad started this business, right?
Yeah, yeah. My dad started it in '89, and I had no desire to get into the business. I didn't even join until 2009. My background's finance.
Okay.
I
And
was I was the financial dork.
what dragged you into the business?
Um, him a little bit, and then no. So I was actually at IBM. I was living up in the White Plains, New York area, and there was a huge round of layoffs IBM did in '08, '09. I wasn't laid off. I was assigned. I was the financial analyst that essentially I was given employee numbers, salary packages, no names, salary packages, exit packages, and I was essentially reviewing these packages and providing management, like which employee numbers were getting the exit packages, which were being let go. And I was probably, man, I was like late 20s at this point. And to go through that and go, so wait a minute, I could be at, this company 20 years from now, and you're going to have some 20 something year old kid deciding my fate, and he has no idea who I am. He doesn't know my name. He knows my employee number. Um, it just didn't
That's
sit well with
wild.
me.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
yeah. That's how they do it in the big leagues, man. And so I get home. I was home for the holidays, and my dad goes, "Man, I think I got the tiger by the tail with this whole Anago thing. Come check it out." And it was like 6 months later that I ended up joining Anago.
So was he franchising at that point, or what was?
Yeah, yeah. They were already so. he started. There only was unit janitorial level franchises from the get go, and then by 1999 they realized that, like, wait a minute, if we can do this in South Florida, we could probably do this in other places. They opened Tampa as a master franchise, and so by the time I joined in '09, there was I want to say around 20 master franchises at the time.
And were they all in the Southeast or?
No, they were all over, mostly US. We were not international at that point. Southeast, definitely, like the East Coast for sure, was heavily concentrated. And then a few out west.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a great opportunity for people to, to get into a business and have a real side hustle, not just an actual side hustle where somebody's actually helping you grow the business. That's
Exactly.
part of the problem when someone starts a business. Like, okay, how am I going to grow? I'm opening up whatever it is, a store, a restaurant, even if you opened up your own cleaning service. Now, where am I going to get my customers from? So you guys
Right.
are helping funnel those customers down into so to people ever contact your office directly. Oh, I need cleaning in New York, or does that get routed to the right places through your websites?
So both.
Okay.
So some of it, yeah, some of it. If it's a purely local, like single office in New York, we have an office out in Queens, and they will service it. If they come up, reach out to our office and say, hey, we have 15 offices across the Northeast, we'll handle that at the corporate office and then kind of source it out to the correct franchisee to handle what needs to be handled. But yeah, we can basically anywhere in US or Canada, we can handle at this point.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. That's a really cool business model. Anything like, so someone who's going to be, so you kind of explain like who the people are where it's perfectly to fit. So what other things would you want to say about somebody who wants to get into this business?
I think from a standpoint of kind of who the ideal candidate is, right? For us, regardless of which type of franchise that they're interested in, it's got to be someone who's just very driven, right? This isn't a business, that you kind of sit on your hands, right? And I don't want to say sit on your hands. That's not the right way to say it. But it's not like an if you build it, they will come, right? It's not McDonald's where you have you spend $1 million on the prime real estate. McDonald's runs multi-million dollar ad campaigns and people just show up. That's not this business model. This business model is a hunter model, right? At the master franchise level, you gotta bring on a sales team. They're out there, whether between email marketing, website marketing, hell, even cold calling, it's out there hustling and meeting people and meeting your community and networking. And so if you're not comfortable with that, then, that's probably not the business model for you.
Okay. And if you're probably don't want to go out and do sales, then owning one of the units is better because then you're
Well,
not doing
exactly.
sales.
Exactly. I mean, the great thing about the unit franchise, right, is it's your business. So you can scale it to as many clients as you want. You just work with the master franchise and say, hey, I want to get 3 more clients. Great, let's do it. Um, and so you don't have to have any sales staff. And because it's after hours, right, it's very limited, frankly, in terms of the interaction you even have to have with other people. And yet you're a business owner. Yeah, you have to check in with your customer, shoot them a note, stop by. How's everything going? Are you happy? Is there anything we can do better? But other than that, like 90% of it is done after hours. The office is usually closed. You get your team together, you put your headphones in, and you get to work.
Yeah, like my landlord was like, oh, anybody, like, we have to have an AC guy, we have to send over their licensing, like we have a cleaning crew that comes in, we had to send them their insurance to our landlord. So, that's like, landlords have gotten like really tough on those kind of things. They want to make sure you're using licensed contractors.
Yep. Yep.
You can't just have Susie come and clean your office,
Exactly.
things like
Exactly.
that, when you're in an office building because they don't want to get the landlord, the owner doesn't want to get sued or anything.
Right. Exactly.
So yes, yeah, definitely, probably paper checks. Like I talk to businesses all the time about that, and that's like a super big struggle when I get somebody who's like, "Oh yeah, well we need a check." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't have any checks. How else can I pay you?" So it's not happening. I mean, I literally probably write less than 10 checks a year.
Yeah, right. It's like, do you want me to chisel this into stone for you? What kind of?
No, I think
It's
people, I
it's
think,
very ancient way of doing money transactions at this point.
yeah, it's gotten to be where people just want to pay the bill and that's it. And they're done with it. I don't even
Yeah,
want to pay every week. I just pay for the whole month.
that's actually how our billing process works too. It's monthly. We don't do weekly. That's more like the like residential, right? Like you have a cleaning lady for your house or something like that, and she needs a check every week or a Zelle every week. Ours is all based on monthly pricing. It's all automated. You get an email with the invoice. You can click to pay. Keep it
So,
simple. Keep it
so
keep it
when people
digital.
are getting like equipment, right? You guys have like suggested equipment they go buy, or how does that work?
So we have two things. One, we have minimum commercial standards that if they do buy their own equipment, so they're not just going into Walmart and picking up a vacuum and some Windex.
Right.
That's not what our customers want to be serviced with. But at the same time, we have some major national deals in place. So the pricing that we can get because of the volume of vacuums or chemicals or mop, whatever it is that we can get, it's just a better price for them to go through that. And then we know it's commercial grade and it's high quality. And so, but yeah, it's all got to be very, high quality commercial grade stuff.
Yeah. So somebody's not going to Publix getting.
Yeah. No
Uh,
fabuloso will be cleaning your office if you're
Right.
with Anaco.
You guys go through and make sure like there's a set standard across what's going
Exactly.
on. Yeah, it's
Exactly.
important that, it's important in any business to have that consistency, whether you're serving food and it's a franchise or you're serving up cleaning and it's a franchise. There has to be consistency across everything. Because
Right.
say I had 5 cleaning crews, they all, you don't, and they have to switch maybe where they're cleaning all the time. You want the customer to still have that same experience, the customer
Exactly.
experience. Yeah, like
Exactly.
what you were talking about before is exactly right. My boss used to tell me when I was a chef, he's like, people walk into a restaurant, they have a zero on their forehead, he used to call it. When they leave, there's either a minus or a plus sign.
Yep.
Well, obviously, like you want people to walk into their office and they go, "Oh, looks great," and it's a plus sign. At the very least, it's like, "Oh, looks good." It's the same every week, and they have like a zero. You know, they're not having a jumping jack experience,
Yeah.
right? But you don't want people to have that minus sign and go, "Oh,
Right.
that's disgusting," or come in and it's not there. But
Right.
so but when you have a cleaning service, they're coming in. They have to have your key. They have to have a code to get in to the building, shut off an alarm, and all different things like that. So it's you want to deal with a trusted company, and it sounds like you've built that up really well to have that, and
Thank you.
and and, and drill it down all the way to the people
Oh
going
yeah.
cleaning. It seems like a really great system. So if people want to get in touch with you, Adam, how do they do that?
So Anago is all over. We're Anago, Anago cleaning.com is our website. And then literally we're on all the social media. So Facebook, Instagram, uh X. I'm never gonna say I always think Twitter, but it's X now, LinkedIn, everything. It's all at Anago Cleaning. And then if someone wants to get in touch with me personally, I'm pretty active on LinkedIn. So just type in Adam Povlitz on LinkedIn and shoot me a message and I'll be sure to respond to you.
All right, sounds good. So that's where you can find Adam and get in touch with him if you want to get into the cleaning business. It's a really awesome discussion today. Any final words on business wisdom or anything that you want to tell people?
Um, yeah, Happy New Year. I don't, I don't, no, I think we covered a lot. I think there's, if anyone's interested, obviously please reach out. And if you're interested in, learning more about our tech stack or anything like that, I'm definitely a nerd and I think there's, it wasn't that cool in high school to be a nerd, but it's paying off now. So reach out and let's connect.
I always have good sayings that I use. So you have to have a good saying. Like there's no like tagline for Anago cleaning. Anago cleaning. It's the best cleaning. Okay.
Anago cleaning. Elevate your cleaning experience.
Okay, there you go. So that's the podcast today. You can catch us on LinkedIn. You can follow me on LinkedIn, follow the podcast there. We're on all the podcast apps, Spotify, Apple, any other podcast apps. You can find us on YouTube. You can see mine and Adam's smiling faces if you follow on YouTube. And that's today's podcast. And I appreciate it. And I always say carpe diem, which is seize the day. And, business, anytime you're going to open a business, I'll give you some good words. No guts, no glory. So when you're going to start a business, you got to kind of have that no guts, no glory thing and just go for it. So thank you for listening to today's podcast. And thank you, Adam, for being a guest. And I appreciate you coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Alan.